everybody. Welcome to another episode of, I was going to say the wrong show, Okay Boomer, the podcast. It's because I'm doing stuff on Facebook right now, sharing us out to Outright Geekery. And I looked up and I didn't see our stream. I saw an interview I did last week, which of course was on Creators Outlet. But we are here for Okay Boomer, the podcast. And it's like, what else didn't I do? Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, now it's Okay Boomer, the podcast. All right. So, I, of course, am Will.
And this is Thomas.
And we are back in the virtual spinner rack this week. Last week, I picked Why the Last Man #1 to go through just because it was in the news. And, it wasn't as depressing.
Hulu, right?
I don't know what it's coming to.
Okay.
I watch stuff a different way. But because it's being developed and everything, and I got to tell you, I laughed hysterically reading like the first half of this comic.
Really?
Just some of the stuff, some of the lines that were in there, like his mother, the representative, yelling at the Congress, throwing down gloves with the congressman and being like,
you mean representative?
Whatever. Yes, representative. Yes. And they're just like, and she's like, goes, yeah, I'm a woman, like all women, like the Democrats. So she just calls the entire Democratic Party a bitch. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome.
I don't know if she went that far, but it was the writing in the book is really crisp. The dialogue sounds good. And the other thing too is, and I know this sounds terrible, but this kind of shows that Brian K. Vaughan is, I don't want to say one of us, but there's a lot of little, as we go through the book, you'll see there's a lot of little things that are inside the book that are kind of like nerd jokes. And I was like, really?
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, it's really grounded in our world, if that makes any sense. I had never read this either. You picked it out of random because it's on, I think it is coming to Hulu. I saw it. And actually, when I finished reading it, it made me want to watch the series. I've never read the book, but I was like, damn, I could watch this just to see what the hell happens next.
Yeah, I'm sure the book is much better than whatever show they're going to make.
Oh, it always is. Yeah, it always is.
So I'm like, I'm just sharing out to a couple groups because I'll put this over in John's group. There we go.
I do like the cover though, man. The cover's kind of like just classic.
Yeah, I'm like, I remember seeing the cover like a long time ago, and then of course saw it on trades and hardcovers and everything after. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Ross and Marcel from Friends.
Damn it. That's terrible.
It's true.
Yeah. But it's kind of just funny. Like I said, seeing the cover and everything else, and I didn't even recognize he was in a straitjacket until you kind of read the book and look at it a little bit more. But yeah, it's got this, killer cover by, not by the interior artist. I don't think it is.
No.
But and this is Vertigo, dude. We've done a lot of Vertigo. It makes you really realize how damn good Vertigo was.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad that it's not here.
I mean, Vertigo had some of the best stuff that DC has done. And it showed that, you can make, a more thought-provoking, mature content book for, people to like read and get into and enjoy. And then they got rid of that, and we've seen what they've done today. So I'm like,
Well, they've tried to relaunch. I don't say relaunch, but kind of rebrand Vertigo as this whole what is it?
the
Label
black
seal.
label. Now
Yeah, and
most of the black label stuff I've read has been. Oh, good. I've got this right next to me. I can shut this damn thing off so we're not listening to it through the entire broadcast.
was it your tablet?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the Black Label. I've read some of the Black Label stuff and it's good. I've got to finish. I've got the Vic Cage series to finish, and I've got oh God, I know it's gonna sound terrible. I started reading it, the Superman by J.R.J.R., the Black Label one,
Oh no, that's terrible.
and the art just made me go, made me throw up a little bit in my mouth.
Yeah. That was. I mean, that was the first totally piece of garbage that I've read from Frank Miller that I couldn't find any good things about. And goes, I always wanted to write a Superman book, so I'm going to retell his origin. No, don't. If you're going to retell his origin, if you're going to publish a retelling of his origin, go back and get John Byrne's 6-issue Man of Steel.
That's what I was fixing to say. I mean, if you're going to really redo it, you had to revisit Superman's origin. The John Byrne is probably the best.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, if you want to go a little bit more modern, maybe the Joseph Loeb, Tim Sale, what is it, Superman for All Seasons or Man for All Seasons? But that's not really necessarily an origin, just an early story.
Yeah, it's just like I got a lot of stuff. Well, I haven't really picked up anything from my comic shop in like 6 months. So I gotta.
They're gonna cut you off.
Let him. I just want my bookshelves back. Damn it.
Damn it.
He's like, well, there was a flood in the back room, and I'm trying to get to them, and everything's piled up. I go, yeah, I know. I've had people tell,
and they're in the back room. They may be ruined.
No, they were out in the main room, but there was a flood in the back room, so he's pulling all these boxes, and his son's animatronic. His son can fill up an entire store with just his Halloween props.
Really?
And he doesn't. I think he sold maybe 2 of them, and he's been collecting them since he was like 14 or 15.
Good God.
And yeah, they're like everywhere. And
So
they're moving to a smaller storefront too.
Yeah, you told me that they were moving down the hall, down the other end of the mall, I think it was.
Yeah, down the other end of the plaza they're moving, and it's cool because it's it's like 2 small stores in one basically, but I don't know how it's going to work. But I know there's a wheelchair ramp that goes up around the back, and the doors are extra wide, so I could go in. But I'm like, how are you going to fit anybody in there? Last couple of people that I know that went into the store, like, I wanted to go in and look around. Goes, you couldn't. There was just stuff everywhere. It was a mess.
Well, and I do like and don't like comic book shops like that. I do like them sometimes because you never know. You like the thrill of the hunt, but at sometimes it depends on my mood. I'm not in it. I mean, I would rather it be nice and clean and organized.
Because he's got stuff piled all over the place, and there's way too much stuff in that store. And I think a good majority of that is, all his son's stuff.
Really?
And he just buys more and more and more. Kid's been working since he was 16, 15 and a half, 16. So he's spending his money on it. And then, for birthday and Christmas, he gets, gifts to pick for Spirit Halloween, and he finds something in the off season. He's like, "Oh, that's cool. I gotta have it," and boom. But I mean, he works. He spends his own money on them.
So you can't fault him there. He likes what he likes.
Yeah.
All right. So back.
It's just my toys are smaller to collect.
Yeah.
But
figures.
Yeah.
All right. So we're at this is Vertigo issue 1. Brian K. Vaughan is the writer. P. Guerrera is the artist, and Jose Marzan, I guess, is the inker. And this is a suggested for mature readers. So remember, it could not be maybe not be safe for work. You can throw that up there if you need to.
Oh, yep. Let me get the.
Ta-da!
This program is TVMA DLSV, whatever the hell that means, and not safe for work.
Yep. Okay, all right. First thing we get off the handle is, I know modern comics do this shit all the time, and I cannot remember when the hell it started. Was it a TV show? Was it movies? What the hell it was? But the whole
where the story bounces all over the place.
Yeah, where it bounces all over the place.
Pulp Fiction.
Show it.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction from '92 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
92 is the first one that you can think of that does it. But I'm like, okay, so the book starts this way, and it's Brooklyn, New York. You see a lady covered in blood, and she's like freaking out, help me, help me, help me. And the lady at the end's like, all the men are dead, and she blows her brains out.
Mm-hmm.
And then boom, 29 minutes ago, it's back. I'm like, what the shit? I mean, it just happened. So we see his name's Yorick, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's hanging upside down in his, he's like doing his best Bruce Wayne impersonation while talking on the phone, on the speakerphone.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, which shows you how old this is, because he's actually got a wall phone that's plugged in. See, look there. It's plugged into the power cable, but I don't see the actual phone cable. So unless the phone cable's in the little alcove, it's there. But he goes on about do you know Elvis had a twin brother? And then we find out he's talking to this is his fiance, who is visiting the Outback, and she's just kind of like on vacation, doing whatever, running around, and he shows you how he's talking about he's got a phone card. I'm like, wow, dude, you just make international. Yeah, it's a modern book, but it's kind of dating itself with the stuff, everything. And she's got that cool cell phone that you could it's got the little, remember those that flip the antenna out and you stretch it out?
Mm-hmm.
It's not as cool as the one they use on the X-Files, though, because that damn phone picked up phone signal in Antarctica. Or something. So they're talking.
Oh, yeah, that's, because she's got a, she's got, what do you call it? What are those phones called? Satellite phone.
Yeah, it's a sat phone. And he's calling her. And they're talking about Elvis's twin brother, who he did have a twin brother who did die right before he was born. And she's talking to him as he's going on, and then she realizes while he's doing an escape routine while hanging upside down from a freaking straitjacket, and we figure out that York is the
boots thing for circulation.
Yeah. So he's currently unemployed, and he's working on his magic routine to try and drum up some money downtown. And she's telling him, hey, you need to get out, enjoy your life, do something that you really want to do, and he's just like, you're more like, my mom, and going on. And his mom actually does call here in just a minute. And so she's out in the Outback, and he talks. They talking just chit chat, couple chit chat, and so now it's 24 minutes ago, and this is his mom calling. So he hears kind of this part of this conversation here. She asked him, how you doing? He didn't get a job he applied for. Hey, she loves him. Be careful. And watch yourself. And this is, I guess, this guy holding the umbrella is her little secretary or whatever. Who asked, did your son get the job? She's like, no. This is the part you were talking about before, where the guy comes up. He's the senator. He's like, Congressman Brown's her name. She says she prefers Representative Brown. It's the 21st century and all that. And he's gender neutral.
I'm like, oh my God. They're like checking all the boxes even back then.
Yeah, and this is 2002 when it come out. So, this is kind of cool dialogue here. She asked him, hey, am I about to get spanked? And the guy says, it depends. And she's, I usually leave that to my husband, which, is kind of a little back and forth there. It's cool. It's good dialogue. You can hear people saying this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's the writing is very clever in this book.
Yeah. And that's what carries it. Cause I'm going to be honest with you. The art is passable. I mean, it's more than passable, but it's nothing special.
No, it's got a little bit of realism in it, and just basic comic book art.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's a style that works for the book.
Yeah, it works for a lot of books like this that are really grounded. It's not too far out there or anything else. But so the senator here is approaching her because he needs her help with an abortion bill, and she's like, I'm voting against it. And they get into a big argument, and she tells him, just like when you vote, with all the pro-life bill, or not pro-life, but you vote with all the gun control bills, and they get in a big pissing match here about you're going to lose your damn seat because you're not going to be held at. Nobody's going to vote for you again.
Yeah, and they're like dropping F-bombs all over the place in this book. It's great.
Yeah.
He's like, that's what I was afraid of. This is a fucking pro-life thing, isn't it? Jesus, Jennifer, what kind of woman are you? The same kind you are. The same kind you are, Marty. A Democrat.
Yeah. Damn it.
And like, but you're going to side with the GOP on this one? Yes, like you do. 89% of the time on gun control.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really, really smart. It's kind of a shocker. I didn't expect the writing to be this good. But yeah, so he gets pissed off and they storm off, and basically he threatens her job.
Yeah.
And, she's like, he's going to see the president because somebody else comes up to him and is like, hey, look, the POTUS needs to see you on concerning 355. And we have no freaking clue what 355 is. Even she doesn't know. The congresswoman doesn't know what the hell 355 is.
Yeah, she was just like, if the president wants to talk to him, it's probably about baseball.
Which, hey, I can understand that. It's pretty important right now. Braves are in the lead. We don't know how long it'll last, though. So don't quote me on that one. So after he hangs up with his mom, now we flip back into the book, and he's talking to his girlfriend again, and now he's screaming at what the hell, ampersand, and we find out that ampersand is a monkey that is throwing its poop at this guy, and he's mad at it.
It looks like rocks, but they're like, we don't want to show actual poop.
Yeah, it could be those little nuggets, like after you eat corn and stuff.
I try not to look.
So he's screaming, and she goes, "You don't tell me you got a chimpanzee. And then he says, no, it's a monkey. So they get in a big argument about it. And this is the first moment when we start to see something's different here in the book, because he's screaming at the monkey, talking to her, and the
Get
damn
away
news.
from my wallet, you bastard.
Yeah, there's no money in it anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So while he's screaming at the monkey, talking to his girlfriend, the damn news flashes, and it's from the West Bank. And then, of course, the story changes immediately. And now we go, it's 18 minutes ago. Now it's in the West Bank. And we
It
can
cracked
see.
me up that the monkey was playing with Batman and Superman action figures, though.
Yeah, he was playing with Batman and Superman actions and throwing them. Yeah, because Superman can't fly. So they flash to the West Bank, and it looks like there's some kind of uprising here with, I would say, Israeli soldiers, and they're attacking, defending, whatever you want to say in the book. They don't go into it a whole lot, but they drive off these, I guess Palestinians. I'm not sure who it is. The book doesn't say, but there's a newspaper reporter that's embedded here, or a reporter that's embedded, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? You know, uh, aren't you going to follow them? And she wants to follow them, but they stop. And she says, I would rather follow them and actually, end this, And then she goes on and talks about her mother and her grandmother, and how they fought in the war, and they fought here and they fought there, and how she's that kind of woman. Uh, oh,
That's
and
just me.
okay, I didn't know who that was for a minute there. So she's, who wants to face this? And then she finally tells him, we haven't even begun to fight in the book. And of course, with that, you see a little bit going on in Palestine or the West Bank, and then it flashes back to York talking to his girlfriend. He's still talking to his girlfriend, so he's using up his damn phone card that his sister gave him. And she's telling him, you need to get out of the house. And now we discover that he has really not left the house much. He's been really cooped up for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He went out like the day before and got some money, and the damn cop, kind of a crooked cop, made him pay for half of it, give him half of his take because he used his handcuffs. So he's talking to her, and she tells him, get the hell out of the house, get out, see something, enjoy yourself. And then the story flashes again. So as you can see, all these flashes, the story is moving closer to the first page of the book. Now it's 13 minutes.
Yeah,
And
it's the more you read, the faster the book moves.
yes, and that it actually really works for this first issue. I'm not sure if he keeps this up. I know the book. I looked it up when you said this one. I looked it up. This series actually went 60 issues, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what all happens after this. And I had an idea kind of what the book was about, but I'd never read it. Uh, so it flashes forward it's to Jordan, and we find that there's this agent. It's a U.S. agent. We find out later on, but he approaches this woman, and she tells him, you're an American, and she wants to know if you're here to kill me. And she says, no, I'm not really here. I just want you to kind of help you escape. And of course, she's fighting. This is my home and everything else. And she says, I want, I need you to get out of here. We really want the necklace that's around your neck. So the lady tells her, says, I don't understand what you're talking about. And now we find out, and I don't know where the hell this amulet comes in later on in the book. It's just kind of interesting. She tells her it's an amulet. It's called, it's a crude stone idol. And she's like, well, why don't you just give it to me? My father gave it to me. And he said, you know, that if she ever takes it off, there'll be a catastrophe, just like the Trojan War.
Mm.
Everything here will be destroyed. And he's like, well, do you really? The lady asked her, she says, well, do you really believe that? No, not really, but it's tradition. We've been having it for generations. Nobody takes the amulet off. We've worn it in my family. so we're going to keep it. So while they're sitting here talking, blah, blah, been back and forth, even though the lady's been trying, I'm sent here to try and help you escape. The lady doesn't want to. So they're blah, blah, blah. And she gets her ass shot on the last panel.
Yep.
And, of course, she gets shot. And the American agent, who's now pissed off and realizes she's completely failed her damn mission, turns around and unloads and kills these two guys. She's even got one of them cool telescoping batons, the kinds you go, whoosh, comes out. She beat people with them.
Yeah, I used to have one of those.
Did you, when you was the bouncer?
When I was a DJ, yeah.
Yeah. So
I got in trouble when I got pulled over one time with it.
Really? Damn it. The stories you get to tell. So she's like, she kills this one guy and beats the snot out of this other one. And she's like, nobody else has to die. Of course, he's going to try and, shoot her in or stab her anyway. So she shoots him. And she goes back and discovers that the lady is dead. And this is the first time we understand that she's, really a U.S. agent and who she is. This is Agent 355. So this is who the president is talking to the senator about earlier in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And she tells, she calls in and says, hey, look, inform the president that there's going to be a slight delay. And, obviously she's going to take the amulet and leave now that the lady wouldn't give it to her. But the story, of course, it flashes back. And now York's really talking to his girlfriend. And she's telling him, she misses him and he misses her. And the book starts to get a little sappy here. And then it flashes forward to now we're at 7 minutes. So here it is at Boston, Massachusetts, kind of your hometown. Mm-hmm. And there's a lady coming into the hospital who is pregnant and is about to deliver. And the doctor comes up and the actual doctor, physician on staff comes up and recognizes her. She's a doctor at the college there at Harvard. And he took one of her biotech classes and everything else. And she's like, great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm here, to deliver this baby. And he's like, it's just Braxton Hicks contractions. Don't worry about it. I assure you I'm pregnant. I'm going to have this baby. And, you've got to help me. We go on and find out because she's freaking out. And the guy's going on, well, who's the father and everything else?
She is.
I'm the father. So he's like, what the hell? What do you mean you're the father? So we find out this old chick has cloned herself and impregnated herself and is going to have her birth her own baby. That's going to be her. So she's, don't call the police.
So she has gone the route of the turkey baster.
Yeah, exactly. So damn it. She's like, hey, this is going on. You got to help me. And the guys, he even talks about the ethical, legal problems here. But I'm going to die if you don't help me. So he manages to get her in, takes her into the office. But before we get there, now 4 minutes. So we're counting to zero. We find out that old chick here is doing the wheelie on the cart with her boyfriend inside the ambulance before they go pick somebody up. So, if they put you on the stretcher and there's a little stain there, you know what it is. So somebody knocks on the door. She opens and comes out. And here's where you're talking about the little people here. The other people call her, a man hater and a damn whore.
Yeah, Zero.
Yeah.
Her actual name is Hero, and she's actually the sister of the main character here, the Monkey Boy.
Of York.
Yeah, and so her parents, named her Hero, and all the other girls at the fire station call her Zero, because she has banged every firefighter on last year's firefighter calendar.
Yeah.
She thinks he might be the one. And
the girl is the one.
Goes, she thinks he's the one. Good. I hope he gives her herpes.
Herpes.
Like, Damn.
You could see people saying this. That's what's funny.
Yeah, and it's even funnier because bitches be crazy and angry. They're angry because they're sitting there by themselves and she's doing the nasty in the back of an ambulance. I hope
And
they change the
everybody
sheet
knows
first.
it.
Yeah, everybody knows it.
Everybody knows it. Matter of fact, even the firefighter guy that knocks on the door is like, "Hey, put your pants up, buddy. We got a job to do."
Mm-hmm.
So they head out, and when they head out, York's telling his girlfriend, "Hey, don't hang up on me. I bought something. I spent all my money at this antique store. It's nothing extravagant." And then we realize he pulls out a wedding ring or an engagement ring.
He pulls out an engagement ring and tells her that he lied about the cop taking half his money. He spent it on this piece of magic in the old store.
Yeah. And it's the magic wedding engagement ring, and he loves her. He's, "Will you marry me?"
No.
But as he says that,
no.
Exactly. It's too late now. Representative Brown, we find out that the husband just called and he's going to be late, so she's upset at that. And as everything's going on, we see the West Bank, the soldiers walk in. There's an airplane above Jordan with Agent 355 on it. The doctor that's giving birth to herself in the freaking hospital, and all of a sudden, all the men start vomiting up blood, and they're freaking out, and everybody. So the damn airplane's fixing to go down. The firefighter that is the one now isn't the one anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The congresswoman's her male secretary is dying. The reporter's dying. And then it flashes Tokyo Stock Exchange. Everybody there's dead. Goes to the St. Peter's. You see the Pope is dead. I didn't catch this or I caught it when I read it the first time. I didn't know this from the story, but it looks like even the male versions of the animals die.
Yeah.
So all of the male cows here are dying on the farm. So every male on the planet, it looks like, is dying. Brazil, Houston, nuclear plant in Leningrad, so we know the nuclear, the damn nuclear power station is going to go off.
Mm-hmm.
Damn train crashes in Kenya. And then, all the way at the end, we get back to our first page where York's sister says, all the men are dead, and blows her brains out. And he hears the gun go off, and then when he hears the gun go off, he turns around and looks out the window, and that's end of our first story.
Yeah. So this is an epic setup.
Why the last man?
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's an epic setup for what the hell is going to happen next in this book.
And you just want to buy the next issue to see what the monkey does.
Well, I mean, not just the monkey. I mean, because the monkey doesn't die, and the monkey, from what we understand, is male, and he's male, and he doesn't die, and the monkey doesn't die. All the other guys die.
Now, I've never read this.
I haven't either.
But from this issue, I would for sure buy the omnibus of this series in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's only 60 issues. Yes, I mean, or the big trades or something. Yeah.
But I mean, this issue was a huge hook, and this book had such a big following. It was crazy. But my theory as of right here is that him and the monkey are still alive because they've been inside 98% of the time. So it could have been something airborne outside. They got into everybody and got triggered.
Well, saying that's the thing. They set that up. Is it something that because he hasn't gone outside much? Is it something outside? Is it the ring that he bought at the magical shop? What is it? And then there's other stuff. So what about the lady that's giving birth to her clone child? I mean, what the hell's going to go on with that? There's a lot of stuff
Yeah, there's a lot of freaky stuff going on.
that can be unwound in future issues.
And of course, the other women at the fire station are probably going to blame Zero for killing all the men on the planet.
Yeah, because they'll probably be like, she slept with them all, so now they're freaking dead. She's a big hoe.
Oh my God.
She got around, she was busy.
It's been killing me because I discovered Reels on Instagram. It's basically Instagram's version of its own version of TikTok.
Really?
So you make like short reels. I've been doing them with the Creators Outlet episodes. I'll make a reel and it'll be, a picture, the logo for my brand, and it'll be like the title of the episode and everything. Plus, it's a link that people can click on. And then, I'll pick out like music to put in the background. So there'll be music playing, and it'll post to my feed and my story on Instagram and Facebook. But I discovered, I guess it's only been going on for like a year, but down in Australia, there's a man and a woman, and they're both comedians, and they've teamed up, and they basically do this Sunday night singles thing at this bar in Perth, Australia, which is like part of the Western Province.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. Basically, what people do, like, all the guys get a pencil and a piece of paper, and they get to write down their best pickup lines. And they put them in there, and then they'll bring a woman up to judge whether it's, and they also do like the dating game setup where they put the partition over, and they'll put one person with a sleeping mask over their face so they can't see anybody in the last questions and stuff. One of the best pickup lines, since we're talking about filthy whores. And the guy couldn't get it out like all at once because he was just busting out laughing. He's like, I like my women like I like my ice cream.
Oh, God, no.
Dripping down my chin.
That's nasty.
It's yummy.
God.
One of the other ones was, what's the difference between you and Iraq and Afghanistan? Nobody's pulling out of you.
Oh my God. That's terrible. On Instagram, you said?
Yeah. You want me to send you a link?
God, I don't know. Crazy.
I'll just send you the funny ones.
not the ones that are terrible. I like that book. I really did.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really good read. It wasn't too, I won't say too hard of a read. It read fast. The art was simple, and it had one hell of a hook. And it does make me want to read the next issue. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with the TV show now. It kind of makes me want to watch it too, because we've got Hulu, and it'll be on shortly. For God's sakes, I haven't watched Loki yet, and I haven't watched all of What If yet, and I haven't watched the last episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, I work all the time.
I know you do. I'm sorry.
And watch the Braves.
Oh, there's time for baseball, but nothing else. My Little Pony.
My Little Pony.
What was I was going to say something. Well, let's come back in a minute after we put our sponsor up, Mavericks.
Okay.
Play the Mavericks trailer, and we'll be back right after this.
Do what?
War is a topic of vital importance, a subject of inquiry that cannot be ignored. It is a matter of life and death. It can be a road to safety or to ruin.
In an alternate version of our world, brought to the brink of total collapse, rival nations fight for global domination, and elite pilots in futuristic combat suits wage war on the battlefield of tomorrow. Now, 6 brave soldiers on a seemingly routine rescue mission will encounter more than they bargained for and uncover a dangerous secret that could change their world if they live long enough to see it. MAVRICS Origins Volume 1.
Now on Indiegogo.
Go back it today. I backed it last week.
It looks really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
we did a thing with Sean 2 weeks ago where he was just screwing around. Didn't really take it serious. He was basically just doodling, but he doodled up a couple of mechs for designing mechs for that show and for that show. It's not a show; it's a book. For that book though, and so I backed the big collector's package. So I'm getting everything. I'm getting the main cover. I'm getting every single variant. I'm getting double-sided metal prints of every single variant. They're doing something called I forget what it's called, but it's like a secret thing. They're calling it mission briefings.
Okay.
And they set them up for certain shows, not mine because my audience isn't quite big enough, but for like some of the bigger audiences, they set it up, and it's a special print. But if you don't buy the big package, the collector's box, you can the only way if you don't buy the collector's box. So if you just buy like a regular copy of the book, but you want certain prints, you got to show up to like every single stream they do. And when they're going to do one of those secret perks for that, if it's a print that you like, you only have 24 hours to buy it.
Really?
So the only way to get all those mission briefings is to buy the big collector's box, and the collector's box is like 11 by 18. It's a really oversized book, like big square book.
Yeah.
So if you put a regular comic up to that book, there's like a 2-inch gap on the left side and on the top. So you got to add another 2 inches all the way around, on two sides of a regular comic to see how big it actually is. And all that stuff will come in that package. There's a pair of dog tags, and when you get the dog tags, it's got the logo for the book on one side. The other side is a QR code, much like the one up in the corner that if you scan, it'll bring you to Creators Outlet's Linktree, and you can follow me everywhere. But that one's going to bring you to their website, and only people that buy the big box get the dog tags. But the dog tags will bring you to pages where you get to create your own character. And you'll be listed as a mech pilot in the story. So
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So they get that going on. And then I bought the merch tier because there's a flash drive with a ton of world building stuff that they didn't include in the book. And, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. So I bought the merch tier, which is that. It's a oversized mouse pad, which is actually because the main cover is a wraparound cover. So
Yeah.
the mouse pad is printed with the full wraparound cover on the mouse pad. There's a 3D printed Mech Warrior figure from the book of the main character. It's like 4 inches tall. And then there's what else is there? Oh yeah, there's a lunchbox.
Really? They're doing a lunchbox.
They made their own lunchbox. You know how we used to get them for like Star Wars and $6 Million Man?
Yeah.
Like that, but it's for MAVRICS. And it's full color all the way around. And then there's a 16-ounce tumbler. But the test one that they put it on looks like shit. So they picked out another one and they're waiting for the corrected one to come in. So they can show it. Plus, they've unlocked a ton of stretch goals. So there's extra prints, cards, the chibi stickers like this. This is a patch though. Cool. That's a chibi patch. That's from a mutant book I'm reading, an indie mutant book I'm reading. That's really awesome. It's cool. It's what the X-Men should be, but are not. So I'll set you up with that sometime. But it's instead of the patch or the sticker, it's double-sided, and they're little chibi standees. So they come with like a little stand. You put them in the stand. They're double-sided, and you can set up like battle scenes and stuff with them.
Oh yeah, on your bookshelf or whatever.
Yeah, they're still going to be on my desk. I'm going to be
damn it,
all kinds of cool stuff like that. So patches and pins and cards and challenge coins and all kinds of fun stuff.
And some of that, if it hits big, some of that stuff will be worth money.
Yeah, and they're trying to get up to at least 20K. So they're almost at 13K. 20K is going to unlock another character, which will in turn unlock another standee.
Yeah.
And 2 more secret trading cards.
Sweet.
To round out the set. So
yeah, that's kind of funny though, talking about all the books. I've looked on some of the books on Kickstarter and such, the smaller comics. Mm-hmm. And some of those launch with like, hey, $3,000 is our stretch goal, or $3,000 is our funding goal. I'm like, really? That's it? How many books are you going to publish for $3,000?
Well, what they do is they try to set like a lower goal.
Yeah.
Because if they hit the goal within a certain amount of hours, usually within like the first, if they hit their funding goal in the first 24 hours on Crap Starter, and that's what I'm calling it because of the news yesterday.
I hadn't heard the news. You'll have to send me a link.
They'll what they do is they'll tag you as project
funded.
Yeah, but it's like campaigns we love or projects we love or something like that, and it puts you way up to the top of the list of stuff that they show and promote.
Oh, really?
So when you go to the main page, you're like right up there.
So that's why the funding goals are so low.
Yeah. That's why. That's why you'll see
So-
like a lot of indie books that their goal is like $500.
Yeah, I saw one the other day. I think its goal was 3,000. I just said to myself, well, that's not very much money. How many books are they really going to publish for that?
Well, most of the books, most of the indie stuff that I'm buying, they're basically full-fledged graphic novels. They're like, at least 48 pages, if not more.
Uh-huh.
They're like 48 to 125 pages, and they're usually indie crowdfunding standard now is like around $25
Dang.
for a book. But if you go and buy like a 50, 60 page book, like a trade or something, it's going to be marked at like $20.
Yeah.
That's going to be the MSRP. So it's like, would I rather buy a whole bunch of like little floppies that are going to take up room, or do I want to buy something nice that's going to go up on my shelf that I'll enjoy more? We saw earlier, thanks to Yellow Flash, that I will never buy another Superman comic as long as I live, because they turned Superman Jr., Superboy John Kent, Superman's son, is now gay and dating a YouTuber with a show called The Truth, which right there tells me it has nothing to do with the truth. I'm surprised they didn't title it My Truth, because that just means that they're lying to you right off the bat. Then last week, one of the Robins comes out of the closet as gay. I'm like, I am all set.
That was Tim Drake.
I don't care.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, so to get on a lighter note, because you gave me hell last week off the show about the fact that I absolutely love the freaking High Evolutionary. I think we need to do High Evolutionary origin story.
Motherfucker.
What?
I think you'll take My Little Pony first.
You already
Have you
screwed the
ever read
pooch on
it?
that My Little Pony stuff. Bless your heart.
Have you, damn it, have you ever read the origin of High Evolutionary?
I remember reading the High Evolutionary War.
That was later. All right, so there it is. So you can bring it up.
Nope.
That's his first appearance.
Obviously, I never read this. This book is old. This book is older than both of us put together.
This book is old as dirt. Yep, that's right. The High Evolutionary's first appearance is in Thor 134. A whopping, but Thor 126 is the first issue of Thor. So this is 8 issues after the first Thor.
So this is Thor 8.
Yeah.
This is Thor number 8, because they just switched the title from whatchamacallit.
It was Journey into Mystery up until 126, I think it was, and then it became Thor. So yeah, this would be Thor number 8.
So Thor number 8.
Yeah. And we get the High Evolution.
What year was this? Like 1962 or something?
Oh my God, dude! I might have to look. Hold on. It is 1966.
Oh. Adam West and Burt Ward were on Batman and Robin. Star Trek was canceled.
No, Star Trek was canceled in 69.
Yeah, dude.
66. Yep. Editor-in-chief Stan Lee, cover artist Jack Kirby, and Vince Coletta. First story is The People Breeders. Writer Stan Lee, penciler Jack Kirby, inker Vince Coletta. Sam Rosen was the letterer. And then there's a Tales of Asgard backup story.
That's okay. Remember, I showed you I picked up a fairly nice copy of Tales of Asgard #1.
Yes, that was nice.
That's I have that and the first issue of Demon and Mr. Miracle together. The two I got from John there, which was awesome.
And this is because you were just giving me.
Did you get your hands on the High Evolutionary action figure?
Not yet. I've got a pre-order one. I don't think it's out yet. That's what's bringing up the link so everybody can see why you was fussing at me. Here it is. We'll give somebody a crap share screen, Chrome tab.
Come on, share the damn screen.
There it is. Now you can bring it back up.
There we go.
There it is. From Entertainment Earth. Dude, it's a badass looking figure.
Looks like a red robot in a dress.
Give me a break.
I thought it might have been Colossus.
This one's too. Psycho Man's pretty cool. And of course the Thing is really cool. Thing is always cool though.
I just hate that they're using those old backing cards from like the 90s.
Oh yeah, they're so old looking, yeah.
I'm like, and they're
Rue's
charged.
okay,
Yeah.
but Sue looks like crap, dude. She looks like she should have went back to bed.
Oh yeah.
And
No.
and the Human Torch looks like dog shit. We'll go ahead and say that out loud. I said the quiet part. Yeah.
I was gonna buy from the What If line. I was gonna buy the Stomper that skinny little Steve went around in the first episode of What If.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I was gonna customize that as my Maverick because it was a nice big one. I was gonna like go to the hobby store and get some stuff and go to work. Except like so these are like 6-inch action figures, right?
Yeah, these are 6-inch figures.
Yeah, the Stomper is a 9-inch figure.
Oh, cool.
The Stomper is $52 friggin'.
Really?
Yeah, it might be. So like after tax, it's going to be like almost $60 for a 9-inch figure. I'm like, get out of here! But man, toy collectors are worse than comic book collectors.
And they take up more room.
Yes and no. The problem is I got a ton of action figures. 90% of them are still all in the boxes that they shipped in.
Yeah, and see, I'm not that guy. I don't buy mini figures anymore, but when I do buy figures, I like them. And 9 times out of 10, they get taken out of the box and put on the bookshelf.
Mm-hmm.
And as my wife says, collect dust.
Well, maybe one day she'll dust them, and you might read an issue of My Little Pony. Who knows?
Damn. But hey, look, none of these are as expensive as that freaking Hasbro Galactus they were trying to get funded a while back.
Oh yeah, I think that's fucking dead in the water.
Did it die?
It's still up there, but it needs like another $1,500 of funding. Now,
so that's what.
I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It should come with a special edition Silver Surfer figure with something that can snap into his back so he flies around him, like on a big piece of clear smoky plastic or something. But no, and it's like, oh, but look at the lights in the head and the helmet. Yeah, cool. I don't remember any lights in his actual helmet from reading the stories, but isn't this cool?
Eyes glowing.
Yeah, for $400 and change, because that's not even including the shipping. The shipping's like another $100.
Yeah, it's 36 inches tall. It probably weighs 60 pounds.
And the higher up it goes, the more extra pieces it gets. There are 20 points of articulation just in his hand.
In the hand. Yeah.
In the hand. So, I mean, it's really cool looking, but for $400 before tax and before shipping, those cheap mofos couldn't even put batteries in it. It goes, batteries not included. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're gonna let me get this thing in, open it up, start assembling it, going nuts,
And
then I go to push the button and nothing happens because the battery not included. I'm like, get out of here.
Didn't you learn anything from Apple? Always include the batteries. Make sure the product's charged before you take it out of the package.
No shit. I thought I ordered. My daughter needs Apple headset because hers died. So I thought I ordered it last. I thought I ordered it last week, and it told me it was going to be on Tuesday. I didn't notice that my other card wasn't listed on my Amazon account, so it went to my government MasterCard, which has nothing on it. And so they never got ordered. So I went to go order them, and I'm like, oh, I can't because I actually have to know the card information and my errand runner, my PCA, put some cash on the card today while he was out doing everything else, and I won't have it back till tomorrow, so I'll have to order it tomorrow. But, I'll have to try to remember to order it first thing in the morning, and maybe throw in a couple of extra bucks so she can get them before she has to go
back home.
Yeah. She'll be here till Sunday, Monday, whatever. So.
Oh, cool. All right, man. Well, so we'll be back next week and we'll do 134.
The book that's older than dirt. The High Evolutionary.
His first appearance is like $1,000.
That book is like a G-note?
Yeah, if it in really nice shape, it's a G-note.
So yeah, because that means the MCU must be getting ready to use them in something.
I mean, there's one on eBay right now. It says used for $925. There's a 5.5 for $400 on Macari. There's a trashed one for $205 on eBay. Here's a 6.0 double cover for $12,000. That ain't gonna sell.
Well, how trashed is the trashed one?
4.0.
Do you have one?
No, I don't.
Then the trashed one might not be so bad.
Yeah, I know. I need one. It's one I want. Here's a 6.5 for $540.
It's like, hello, Christmas bonus.
Yeah.
If you can get to it before your wife spends it.
My Christmas bonus is like the Christmas bonus off of a Christmas Vacation. A free subscription to a magazine.
Uh-oh, the shitter's full again.
Damn it. All right, man. Well, I'm fixing to head out.
Okay, we'll see you all next week. And I will be on tomorrow night with Creators Outlet, which is me. Makes sense. And it's going to be an open stream. Anybody that has a book, a project that's in demand on Indiegogo, or anywhere that the book is able to be bought from that isn't in a live crowdfunder. People are going to be coming on and shilling their books, and so I'm hoping we get a bunch of people. So far I know I've got like about 6 or 7 people coming on. 5 of them like all together. combined on like one book, and then one of them, and then two of them have like two different projects too. So, so it should be fun. But until next week, when we meet the High Evolutionary for the first time, this is Will.
This was Thomas.
Yeah, peace, love, and go read some comics. Later on, everybody.